April is National Stress Awareness Month. Every April, mental health professionals aim to increase public awareness about the causes and treatments for stress, as it can lead to a wide range of illnesses and risk serious conditions if untreated. Here to tell us more is marriage and family therapist with the Birmingham Maple Clinic, Carrie Krawiec. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Happy to have you with us. Really interested in getting into this topic, a very important topic for a lot of people. Why is Stress Awareness Month very important, and how can it help individuals and families?
Well, absolutely. Like you said, stress, we all encounter so much stress, and in a lot of ways, stress has got a really bad rap. Stress is a part of our life, and being able to deal with stress healthfully, like you said, will affect your physical health, will affect your relationships. So it's so important to have a healthy approach to stress and healthy responses to stress.
That's right. It's a natural part of life. We're all going to be experiencing stress in some way, shape, or form, whether that's with work, whether that's with your personal life, with relationships. Stress is always going to be there. What are some of the most common sources of stress for families today, would you say?
Gosh, I think it ranges. I mean, certainly they're just busy schedules. And I think even too, like maybe a misinterpretation about stress that actually people who get stressed out about stress actually have much worse reactions to stress. So people who can really sort of embrace stress or recognize that like we're meant to do hard things,
Okay, looks like we have a screen freeze for a
being
moment. Oh,
stressed.
we're all set. Sorry about that. Looks
Oh,
like we had a quick audio glitch or a video glitch, but we're all back. Just
okay.
continue your answer.
Sure. So what I was saying, of course, busy schedules, a lot of comparison, social comparison. Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing, what we should be doing? Are we doing as much as someone else? Workplace stress certainly demands at work, and the things that people face there, demands at school. There's a lot of pressure because we're exposed to so much information. Also, things in the news that might be hurtful or harmful or upsetting certainly cause some people stress. So, like I was saying, though, people often just stress about being stressed. And what we've seen, especially even since the time of the pandemic and working from home, is there's actual like a repulsion to stress, which actually causes people more stress.
Stressing about stress, no part of that sounds enjoyable, but it's common, and it's also common in some of the younger residents of the community, children and teens. How can parents recognize signs of stress in their children?
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. Well, you're absolutely right. So being able to turn to your close family for supports, for friends, is actually helps everybody do stress better. So when we're able to turn to our loved ones and say, "Hey, I'm stressed," and they're able to be supportive to us, it helps both people stress less. It helps release healthy hormones. So it is really important to be noticing whom in our lives is stressed and how can we be supportive to them. One thing though is that often someone else's stress might stress us out. So some interesting new information too is coming out about how, of course, males and females even biologically respond to stress differently. So whereas a male child or a male adult may look more irritable and more aggressive, that may be their sort of outward display of stress, whereas maybe a female may look more avoidant, more depressed, maybe more internally anxious. That may be their way. And so as a parent, you're going to have to sort of approach your children differently and recognize that the common theme may be stress.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we have Carrie Krawiec with the Birmingham Maple Clinic talking about April being National Stress Awareness Month and what families and residents can be on the lookout for in terms of managing stress. And that's all about what you're trying to do. You are trying to help to manage stress in people. What are some effective coping strategies for managing stress as a family?
Sure. Well, certainly, like we were saying, so stress can affect our sort of our physical health. It can affect our mental health, and it can affect our behaviors. So, physical health. One of the things that stress can do, like you said, it can increase sickness. It can increase poor eating, overeating, undereating, oversleeping, undersleeping. So, as a family, certainly making sure we have healthy sleep routines, healthy eating routines, healthy exercise routines, time outdoors, and time even time together and time with physical touch, hugging, holding hands. All of those things serve to reduce stress.
Sounds like a big component in a lot of those things you just said is self-care, which plays a huge role in reducing stress. But I understand that a lot of people, especially busy parents with a lot of things that they have on their plate, it can be hard to make the time for it. So how can busy parents make time for things like self-care?
For their self-care or the care of their children, I mean, I think sometimes just as brief as a couple minutes. I mean, some research shows that even like a 90-second meditation or a 98-second just like breathing exercise can do wonders to reduce your stress internally. From like a parent-child standpoint or a relational standpoint, dedicating like 10 minutes of just time to be present, not necessarily to talk about problems, but just to be with each other, kind of screen free, demand free, and just kind of like 10 minutes of just time being together can also reduce stress, improve health, and improve the strength of the relationship, and also improve the trust to be able to reveal those things that cause stress. I mean, I think, like I said, sometimes it feels like we don't have the time or we're so tired and then we're stressed about being tired. We're stressed about being stressed later. We're stressed about being late. I mean, all of these things, the demands, they cause us to make bad behavioral choices, like maybe over reliant on caffeine or nicotine or alcohol or other stuff to just keep us going. But really, kind of limiting our screen use later in the day, limiting caffeine use, limiting alcohol use, all of those things are going to have benefits in our sleep and our physical health that in the long term are also going to reduce our stress and reduce our responses to stress.
All very helpful tips to help keep everybody stress-free and to keep them relaxed. And how can open communication within the family help alleviate stress?
Such an awesome question. So the research shows, like I said, is that when we share our stress, when we share our life with other people, we actually handle stress better. So like the cuddle hormones and the oxytocin, the things we expect, like from mothers and babies early in their life, when in our families and our relationships, we connect and we talk about our hopes and wishes, about our fears and our embarrassments. When we talk about sort of the ins and outs of our life, we actually have better oxygen flow through our body. We actually have better of the healthy hormones through our body. We have a reduction in stress hormones. And it's actually one of the benefits of a therapeutic relationship that if you don't feel comfortable sharing with people in your personal life, that some of that same effect can be gained in a therapy relationship.
That's right, and I want to touch on that just a little bit because we can do a lot of things to help reduce stress, but in some cases, stress can become unmanageable for some people. What are some signs that stress is becoming unmanageable, and when would be that moment that someone should seek professional help, would you say?
Sure. So, as therapists, we always think about intensity, frequency, and duration. So, we are made to have stress. We are made to encounter stress. I always say it's like starting a lawnmower to get you going. A little bit of stress kind of pumps us up, amps us up, and gets us ready to go. And that stress is good stress. So, if we have a brief burst of stress and then we sort of get the momentum we need to roll through our life, that's acceptable. So, we should have stress and then rest. But if your stress is constant, it's intense, it's interfering with areas of your life, it's interfering with your social relationships, it's interfering with your sleep, it's interfering with your health, and there's not periods of break in between, then that's really a sign that you need more help.
I love that lawnmower analogy. That is so perfect. Once again, Carrie Krawiec from the Birmingham Maple Clinic is joining us right here on The Splash to talk about April being Stress Awareness Month. And Carrie, one more quick question before we let you go. Are there any resources or community programs available to help families who are currently dealing with high levels of stress?
Certainly. I mean, there's lots of resources available, for, again, if it comes to, if you need to get outdoors and, you look at your local parks and there may be even like Tai Chi or, opportunities for meditation. Some are free opportunities and a lot of the parks and recs are offering things like that or group hikes, opportunities to be together and outdoors. Certainly, any of the government pages, the National Institute of Mental Health, any suicide awareness hotline pages, those are also going to be able to guide people people towards healthy choices, and the things to be able to recognize to say, hey, what are the signs that I need more help, and then some direction into how to get it.
All great information. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live to talk about this.
Thank you so much for having me.